Good morning, scholars. Happy Tuesday. You guys, it's getting to crunch time for the star, so make sure we're taking this super seriously. So we're back to linear functions from way back in the day. A reminder, your star is May 7th, so make sure you're trying your hardest, and if you have questions, please ask your teachers. Okay, so Tuesday. The first question has to do with vocabulary. It's the y coordinate of the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. So that's going to be my y-intercept. When it crosses my y-axis, here's my y, here's my x. When it crosses my y-axis, it's a y-intercept. When it crosses my x-axis, it's an x-intercept. So go ahead and try number 2, 3, and 4. These are just finding the ordered pairs where it crosses the x or the y axis. Each one actually has both. So this would be your y and this would be your x. Go ahead and try those on your own. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 5. In order to find the x and y axes of these linear functions, I have to plug in 0. So when I'm looking for my y-intercept, I know that my x value is going to be 0. When I'm looking for my x-intercept, I know that my y is going to be 0. That makes sense, and you should have noticed this pattern from the graphs that you just looked at. So I'm going to go ahead and do number 5. I want to find the y-intercept, so I know x equals 0. So I plug in 2 times 0 minus 4y equals 4. 2 times 0 is 0. And I'm just bringing down everything else. I'm left with negative 4y is equal to 4. Is this y isolated? No, it's being what with this negative 4? Multiplied. Good. So in order to get multiplication to go away, I have to perform an inverse operation, or the opposite. I divide by negative 4. Y equals 4 divided by negative 4 equals negative 1. So my y-intercept here would be 0, negative 1. Beautiful. Okay, now we can do the opposite and find our x-intercept. 2x minus 4 times 0 equals 4. 4 times 0 equals 0, so I just have 2x is equal to 4, because this turns into 0. Is this x isolated? No, it's with my 2. Good. The mathematical operation that's happening between 2 and the x is multiplication. Good. So in order to get multiplication to go away, I go ahead and do division. X equals 2. So I know this is my x-intercept, and x equals 2, so it would be 2, 0. You guys, it is important to take that next step and make sure that it's written in an ordered pair, because a lot of your tests will make sure that it's written in an ordered pair. So you will get x is equal to 2, but the answer choices will be in ordered pairs. So please make sure that you are writing it in ordered pairs. Awesome. For the graphing part, you need to put it in y equals mx plus b to go ahead and graph these equations. I'm going to show you one, and then I'm going to release you and have you do the rest of the worksheet. Beautiful. So number 9 says 4x minus 5y is equal to 20. I know in order to graph it, I need it to be in y equals mx plus b. Here I have 4x minus 5y is equal to 20. That is not in my y equals mx plus b form. I know I want my y isolated. Here I have a positive 4x. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4x from one side. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Good. Negative 5y equals negative 4x plus 20. This y is still not isolated, so you have to go ahead and get that negative 5 away, perform the inverse operation. Here it's being multiplied, so in order to get multiplication to go away, I have to do division. -5 divided by -5 is 1. So I'm left with y. Y is equal to a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So 4/5 x. 20 divided by -5, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. This is telling me what my y-intercept is. So my y-intercept is 0, -4. And my m value is telling me my slope. So I'm going to go ahead and graph the y-intercept at -4. And then it's telling me I have to rise 4 and run 5. The slope is my m value. Y equals mx. It's just the m, you guys, not the x too. So my slope is 4/5. The 4 is my rise, and the 5 is my run. So I'm going to go ahead and rise 1, 2, 3, 4, and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Go ahead and try the rest of the worksheet with partners. Please make sure you're asking if you have any questions.